Kazakhstan has introduced the fourth stage of reinforcing measures to prevent coronavirus. The government reported on restrictions and bans in the country. In the exclusive interview with an expert, impacts of the agreement between Taliban and Trump's administration on the Central Asian region will be discussed. On the eve of the Great Victory Day, Kazakh search teams are heading to the Memory Watch. In April, volunteers will travel to the battlefields. The film about history of the Kazakh statehood was screened in the capital of the United States. Kazakhstan is reinforcing measures to prevent the spread of coronavirus. Iranian citizens are banned from entering the country, and the number of flights from Baku and Tokyo has been reduced. The fourth stage has been introduced in the country since March 1st. The list of potentially dangerous countries has also been expanded. In case of the infection and its spread, the Kazakh Ministry of Healthcare will act according to the so-called Plan B.
Қазір Қазақстанда коронавируспен ауырған адамдар жоқ. Сондықтан барлық
To date, there are no confirmed cases of coronavirus in Kazakhstan. Therefore, it is necessary to continue all the preventive measures. The virus also has a negative impact on the global economy, in particular on industry, transit, trade, and export. In this regard, it's important to take appropriate measures to ensure stability of Kazakhstan's economy. I assign the Ministry of Healthcare to reinforce the sanitary and epidemiological control at all checkpoints of the state border and to ensure their readiness for implementation of measures planned in the algorithm of proceeding.
Бақылауды күшейтсін және әзірлеген іс-қимыл алгоритмін іске асыруға дайын болуын қамтамасыз етсін.
The Kazakh Prime Minister instructed to postpone the holding of large international events and to suspend the issuance of visas for Kazakh citizens to the countries with unfavorable epidemiological conditions. The number of regular flights with South Korea has been reduced from 9 to 3 flights per week. The only flight with Iran has been suspended since March 1st. The number of Nur-Sultan Tokyo flights will be reduced from 2 to 1 from March 5th. The air travel with Azerbaijan will be limited from 15 to 3 flights a week from March 5th. An agreement signed between the United States and Taliban has been named as historical. Analysts highlighted that agreements were reached after 19 years of confrontation. The agreement states that the US and NATO will withdraw their troops from the country in 14 months. The agreement also states that negotiations between Taliban and other forces in Afghanistan will begin the next week on March 10th. The parties will discuss a permanent and comprehensive ceasefire.
The biggest security challenge in the region and specifically in Afghanistan is the operation of terrorist groups, their affiliates, and organized crime groups. The other one is the brain drain and the capital outflow towards abroad. The best way to solve all these challenges, especially in Afghanistan, is to end the cycle of violence and conflict and give the people of Afghanistan the chance to form a stable, working and robust government that will have all the tools at its disposal to solve these issues. The important thing to note is that Afghanistan has had about 7 democratic elections since the beginning of the Operation Enduring Freedom. And that's very important because it shows that the Afghan people are committed and want to establish democratic institutions and a democratic culture in their country.
The states of the region are interested in solving the Afghan crisis. Moreover, they have formed the common understanding of its solution. Afghanistan needs not only the humanitarian assistance, but also the support in implementation of infrastructural projects.
Afghanistan is an integral part of Central Asia in economic terms, as a trade hub, transit hub. Therefore, if the situation there doesn't normalize, the neighboring states and the area as a whole will not have security, prosperity, or stability.
It is possible to achieve good results by considering Afghanistan not as a threat, but as a prospective partner with undiscovered potentials. Kazakhstan implements educational program for Afghan students and takes part in construction of the socially important facilities. Uzbekistan exports electricity to Afghanistan, while Turkmenistan exports gas. Direct flights and train service are well established from these countries as well. Kyrgyzstan is actively searching for investors for construction of the largest hydroelectric power plant in the region, Kambar-Ata 1. The plant capacity is 1,860 megawatts per hour of electricity. The project cost is almost $3 billion. The high cost of the new renewable energy facility is due to its location. It will be built from scratch, since there is no engineering infrastructure in the region of Naran River. Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan have been expressing their interest in the construction of the plant. This will bring some benefits for each party. The water supply will be regulated during spring irrigation, and additional volumes of electricity will be provided.
У нас есть меморандум совместного строительства данного ГЭСа.
We have a memorandum on the joint construction of this hydroelectric power plant. To date, this memorandum is valid. We will have negotiations with Uzbekistan. We plan to conduct negotiations with Kazakhstan as well. If they agree, we will build this hydroelectric power plant together.
Если они будут согласны, совместно построить процесс.
The urgent need to start the project is caused not only by the growing energy consumption in Kyrgyzstan and the Central Asian region, but also by concerns about environmental conditions.
Маловодный период на сегодняшний день, в этом году наступил, то есть период.
Currently, this year's dry season has begun. The amount of water in the Toktogul reservoir compared to the same period of this year is 1.8 billion cubic meters less. This can be solved by water conservation. To date, we are focusing on the increase of coal use and negotiations with the neighboring countries on supply and commodity exchange.
С сопредельными странами на предмет поставки и товарообмена.
The Kyrgyz authorities plan to begin the construction themselves. At the first stage, it is planned to construct 150 meters of the dam and build 2 spillways. Then, energy specialists will pave roads and utility systems. According to preliminary calculations, the construction of the hydroelectric power plant will take from 8 to 10 years. Business people from the United Kingdom are ready to invest in the mining sector of Kazakhstan. British investors are attracted by the world exploration practice applied in the country. This has been discussed at the Roadshow London, organized by the Kazakh embassy to the UK.
Сегодня Казахстан нуждается в открытии новых месторождений.
To date, Kazakhstan needs to discover new existing deposits. The deposits are usually opened by small junior mining companies, which are eager to enter our country. I think that it will happen due to such events.
Я думаю, благодаря таким мероприятиям это и будет происходить.
Amendments into legislation and the new code on subsoil and subsoil use have provided new opportunities for these small junior companies. The simplified method also attracts investors to the state. 460,000 square kilometers have been allocated, while nearly 600 licenses have been issued in Kazakhstan.
The new mining code, the new ecological code that's coming up, the adoption of CRISCO, EITI, make it a good place to do business.
The government delegation with Kazakh companies will attend a global exhibition in Canada on March 4th. Experts will share their first results of the introduction of the new code on subsoil and subsoil use. Abay's works were showcased at the International Book Fair in Minsk. This year, works of the great Kazakh philosopher were paid special attention because for the first time the exhibition included his works translated to Belarusian. The translation was made by the poet Mykola Metlitsky.
Сегодня, изучая произведения Абая, можно сказать, что это те ценности, которые не теряют.
Today, studying Abay's works, it can be said that these are values that do not lose their relevance. The more Abay's works are studied, the more it becomes clear that all those words that he said about human nature, future, education, study, and science are still valuable. It is all relatable. His works are important not only in his homeland, but also beyond.
Это имеет не только внутригосударственную необходимость, но и международную необходимость.
Ежегодно к нам приходят, ждут.
Every year, people come to us and they wait for our writers in order to purchase their works. The Kazakh khanate, the Diamond Sword film, was screened in Washington, D.C., the United States. The movie answered the questions of American viewers on Kirey and Janibek Khans, as well as formation of the Kazakh khanate. The film received positive feedback from representatives of the American official, business, scientific, and creative representatives, as well as from Kazakhs who live in the U.S.
I study Islam now, especially Sufism and Kazakh history, and I was very impressed with the movie tonight. The costumes, the action, the acting, the beautiful scenery, the incredible steps, the mountains, just so touching. And of course, the falcons and the eagles. Mashallah, what a beautiful movie. I can't wait to see the next 2 series. And please bring them on Netflix. Bring them on Netflix so that the general public can also enjoy them. They need to learn more about Kazakhstan.
I really enjoyed seeing the movie tonight because it gave me a real picture of the history of Kazakhstan, as well as the understanding and reality of what it was like as they built the nation in those times long ago. I thought it was very inspiring to see the development of the nation.
During his speech, Kazakh ambassador to the US, Yerzhan Kazakhanov, also highlighted the importance of cultural events dedicated to the anniversary of the great poet Abay Khonanbayala. Spectators also learned about development of the national cinematography. Volunteers from Pavlodar are preparing for another expedition to the battle sites of the Great Patriotic War. The search teams are strengthening cooperation with Russian colleagues in the 75th anniversary of the Great Victory. In April, they will pay a visit to Rzhev, the Kalinin Front search expedition, where the new memorial complex is planned to be opened. They will go to Omsk region to collect information about the missing soldiers. 35 evacuated hospitals were stationed in this region during the war. In recent years, the volunteers from Pavlodar have managed to identify the burial sites of 50 soldiers. The work with Russia's Central Archives brings people together. Volunteers from Belarus, Ukraine and Germany help us, since we created the group to search for Kazakh soldiers. Many Kazakhs seek help from the group to look for their relatives who went missing during the war. The exhibition of Indian traditional textiles will be held at the National Museum of Kazakhstan. It will be dedicated to the 150th anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi. More than 30 kinds of Indian saris representing culture and traditions of a particular region in India will be showcased at the exhibition. The exhibition will be a continuation of the exposition held in the Kazakh capital last fall. There will be a series of masterclasses where craftspeople will reveal the traditional secrets to weaving, passed down from generation to generation. The exhibition was organized with support of the Kazakh Ministry of Culture and Sports and the Embassy of India in Kazakhstan.
I invite everyone to visit the Shari exhibition, which starts from 3rd of March, and also congratulate all for the International Women's Day. And this is a special exhibition being held in combination with the International Women's Day. So please come. We also have our festival of Holi on 10th of March, so it's a festival of colors, and sari is also, you can see the many colors of India. So please come and visit the exhibition.